Hello my lovelies, this is Angel Tia from Simply Angel Tia, and I'm here again to show you guys another tip that I use to make my life of crocheting a little bit easier. Now with this one, it may be something that you guys already know, maybe it's not a problem with you or any of that kind of stuff, but we all know we do projects every now and then that requires you to do a long chain. And when you do so, you have to count and you need to make sure the number of chains is going to be accurate. Otherwise, your work is not going to be as straight or as good as it should. So you want everyone and everything to be as quiet as possible in the house. I sometimes even don't want my fridge to go off, because my fridge every now and then when it's working, it's not when it's working, but as my fridge is working, it's gonna make some noise that I'm not very pleasant with and I don't like, and it distracts me, or a doorbell, or just hearing birds chirping outside, and I lose my count. So this is going to be a tip that I use to make sure I don't lose my count, and also to make sure that I'm not shushing everyone and I'm not stopping every conversation for 5 minutes so I can count my stitches. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. So I'm gonna do my slip knot as per usual. Okay, and this is one technique that I use. So as you guys can see, I have my stitch markers here. These guys are really easy to get online, in Walmart, whatever. Like you can get a whole bag of like 50, 100, 150 for very cheap. So make sure you always have stitch markers around. These are going to be your lifesaver whenever you're doing crochet, because you don't know when you need to mark something, and you need that. And another technique is you can always use yarn. So if you have some scrap yarn somewhere, you can cut them into small pieces like this, and you can use them as stitch markers, where you can just kind of place where you need to remember something. But one way that I remind myself, or at least to cut the reputation of counting for a long time short, is I do it in sets. So let's say I'm going to do a chain of 100. I can just do 10 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I can take a stitch marker, put it there, and then do the next 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put another stitch marker there. And let's say at this very moment my phone rings or my doorbell rings and I need to go do something. I can stop here, go do whatever I need to do, come back, and I know that I have done a set of 10 here, which is total of 20, and I can pick up from there. As opposed to if you're just counting and then somebody, rings the doorbell and you have to stop. And most times you come back, you're like, I don't even know if the number of chains I have here is accurate number, so I'm going to redo it. And I've done that multiple times. So this is one technique that I use. And as you get better at it, you can do a lot more longer than that. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you get better at this, you can do even longer. So I have gotten so much better at this that I can easily do a set of 50. So 1 to 50, I'm going to do my stitch marker, and then depending on how many chains I'm going to do, obviously, and then do another 50, put my stitch marker, do another 50, do a stitch marker. Let's say I'm doing a chain of 250. I use this technique to section out my 50s, and then by the time I get to the end, I look how many sections I have, I add it up, and I know it's sections of 50, and I have my number, and that's it. And I can stop any moment. If my husband is like, hey babe, do you know where I put my this and this, because my husband forgets everything where he puts a lot of his things. So if he's going to ask me where he put something and I need to stop to help him find it, I can stop when I have my sets done, or like the number, the sets, and then I can go help him come back and pick up where I left off. So this is one technique that I use. Okay, you don't have to do the same. Maybe you're just a really good counter. Maybe you're just really good at shushing everyone and letting everyone know you don't want to talk for 2 minutes so you can count. I am not. I am I get distracted very easily, and it really annoys me when I have to start over counting my stitches over and over again. Okay, so this is one technique that I use. Another technique that I use that maybe you guys already know, maybe not, you don't, but when I'm counting, let's say I'm going to do a set of 50 continuously. Okay, so because now I'm good at it, that I can do sets of 50. If I'm going to do a long chain, I do with sets of 50. So let's say I do set of 50, A technique that I use, and I learned this when I was a kid, is when I count, I don't actually count throughout. I don't go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. I don't do it like that. I count in sets of 10. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. So I would start my chain by going 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 20. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 30. So I hope you guys got that. As you can see, I don't count from 11 12 13. I just do sets of 10, and when I get to the next 10, I say either 20 30 40, and that's how I count. The reason I count it like that is it's very exhausting to go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23. That is very tiring for me, and it just becomes very confusing. So I do in sets of 10, and as you guys noticed, I actually went 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 20. 1 2 3. That's how I do it, and it makes me remember my counting a lot more easier than if I just went all throughout. And also, it's another way to if let's say you get interrupted when you're doing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 20, you can know that you stopped at 20, and then you go and deal with what you have to deal with and come back and pick up from there. But if you're going 21 22 23 24 25 and you hear the doorbell, you stop at 25, that's it. Like you're gonna lose your spot, and you're gonna come back to your counting and have to start all over again. So yeah, this is it here. This is the technique that I use for when I'm doing a long chain and I need to count. And of course, it helps if you just tell everyone to not talk and move or do anything in the next 2 minutes. I do use that technique as well, but just in case, you cannot do that everywhere that you are. Sometimes you may be crocheting in a public transportation, or whatever the case is, you cannot shush people around you. So you need to find a way to be able to just concentrate and do your counting and make sure you have an accurate number of stitches for your project, okay? So hopefully that technique that I use helped you. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.